secularism. Andrew, you make my life difficult by asking this question. Prior to state elections, however, still I navigate, I'm in trouble. If I say no to secularism, the legal fraternity is not happy. If I say yes, I will lose elections. So, forgive me, Tona, I will give my view, my personal view, my understanding. Now, secularism, if it is laicite secularism, which completely cut off religion, religious practice and values, is of course not acceptable. Not only to me as a Muslim, but to all Muslims. Why do you accept laicity? I mean, religious values is important. When I talk values as integrating force in society and culture, a brilliant study by Takdir al-Shabana, there must be better than some religious understanding. You better talk about forming justice. I think as in the Friday sermon, without faith is in Allah ya'muru bil 'adl wal ihsan. You must ensure there is justice and ihsan virtue. Or the statement is general, it's not only to Muslims. So I think therefore say that there is relevance. If you mean by secularism is not to discard completely religious values, it's acceptable. But if you take secularism, you must completely differentiate with religion. I take an issue. This is the philosophical construct or theoretical construct which require that the most secular society, even America, a very strong leadership. As opposed to France, after the French Revolution, it takes this laicity, which is a complete separation between state and religion. Now, does it mean therefore it is a religious state? No. Does it mean there must be a theocratic state? No. That's why the terms are being used freely, and we have to pay a price. So the general Muslim masses take secularism as something as anti-religion. And you want to popularize the term? Fair, but you must make sure that that term is being understood clearly by the masses. Otherwise, there's complete disconnect between the narrative and the discourse of the urban ruling elite, elite and the sentiment and understanding of the masses. Now, let me reiterate this point, that the masses, the majority of Muslims, has been told clearly that secularism means complete separation of state and religion based on the influence and the experience of the Holy Roman Empire in European history. Now, that's not how a Muslim should understand. State has the secular elements, but the religious values must be embedded in that sort of understanding. Now, therefore, there is no contradiction. So once you start declaring Malaysia as a secular state, then they say, what about Islam in the religion of the Federation? What about Islamic departments? How do you reconcile the fact that a ruler, the Sultan, is the head of religion in the state? Now, for the Malay masses, they will say that you say you are completely secular as laicity. You say you are against the Sultan. You are against Islam as the religion federation. That's why when I say that we are not secular, I'm referring to that context. There's no issue of a complete separation of state and religion because Islam is the religion of federation. But it is not a theocratic state that you impose Islamic laws on everybody, including non-Malays or non-Muslims for the matter. Am I clear or I confuse you further?
华语媒体一律打出大马非世俗国的标题，企图提升点击率和带风向。在完整的访问中，安华是清楚阐明，世俗这个词的定义必须先让人民理解，才能使用。在英文媒体， 都会写清楚安华说的非完全世俗国的定义。纳吉和阿杜拉的国政年代是直接说马来西亚是伊斯兰国，而安华的回答实际意义是马来西亚是世俗国，但伊斯兰是官方宗教，要有宗教元素。世俗主义分成几个阶级：一、完全世俗主义，没有任何国家；二、法国类似世俗主义，不能有宗教元素；三、英国、美国的基督教立国，宗教非常自由；四、马来西亚的世俗，但伊斯兰为官方宗教，穆斯林有受限于伊斯兰法庭。简单说，穆斯林受限于伊斯兰法，非穆斯林世俗法律。这定义在1957立国已经清楚了，没有需要争议的地方。时评人也说，安华的非世俗国、非神权国满足了个造的诉求，没必要再争论。
In this video, I discuss French secularism. The French call their type of secularism laïcité, and for many of them, it is so sacred that they even wrote it into the constitution in its very first phrase. Moreover, France is the only Western European country that explicitly uses the term secular republic in its constitution, so you can imagine how fundamental this principle must be to them. The French type of secularism is assertive. It seeks to protect people from religion. It wants to exclude religion from the public sphere. Why? Because historically in France there was a marriage of Catholic Church and a Catholic monarchy. Therefore, Republicans became both anti-monarchy and anti-religious. As Jacques Berliner Blau states, the French came to laïcité through blood and tears. As we know it, it wasn't the case for the United States, for instance. Thus, we can understand that historically, many people today consider such policies to be anti-religious and designed to stigmatize believers, especially Muslims. After all, today Islam is the second largest religion in France. But it is important to remember that initially these principles were directed precisely against the Catholic Church. Yet, some critics accuse France of double standards that infringe on Muslims. For instance, that representatives of Christianity may have more civil rights than French Muslims, let's say in the matter of education or use of cemeteries. While Americans emphasize freedom of religion, the French place more emphasis on freedom of conscience. In America, people are very loud about their religion. You find religion everywhere in their jewelry, their tattoos, their bumper stickers, and so on. But in France, it is more of a private matter. And by the way, if you work for the government, for example, you are a school bus driver, you are not allowed to show any religious symbol, even wear a cross so that others can see it. I think there is a reason why Professor Berliner Blau points that France is suspicious of the true believer, while the United States is suspicious of the non-believer.
In America, the profession of Christian belief has become an informal test for nearly every public office.
And faith can change lives. I know, because it changed mine.
When I wake in the morning, I wait on the Lord, and I ask Him to give me the strength to do right by our country and its people.
I brought my Bible. Okay?
记得点赞关注哦。